This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Barakat Salah from 92.3 Nigeria Info FM, the nation's number one talk, news and sports radio station. My name is Jude. On the news this afternoon, whereabouts of 8 people abducted in Kula Abanima waterway still unknown. Arrested Yoruba activist Sunday Igboho to face extradition battle. Private schools in Rivers State advised to enforce all COVID-19 protocols. And on the foreign scene, 12 die as rain floods tunnel in China. This is 92.3 Nigeria Info. This is the news.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome and thank you for joining us this afternoon. The whereabouts of 8 people abducted by gunmen on the Kula Abonima waterway on Monday remain unknown. 5 out of the 8 kidnapped persons are members of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Rivers State chapter. The state chairman of the union, Jonah Jumbo, has appealed to the kidnappers to release them unconditionally.
The Kola unit and the Abonima unit were asked to come for meetings in the state office here in Port Harcourt this morning. On their way coming from Kola, we got a complaint that the officers who are coming for meeting were kidnapped. All our 5 members were kidnapped, including another 3 passengers. Up till now, nobody hear anything from the kidnappers. So we are still appealing to the general public, the government, to really help us and see how they can reach to those kidnappers.
Moving on, Yoruba activist Sunday Igboho is likely to appear before a court in Cotonou, Benin Republic, for an extradition order. His lawyer Yomi Aliyu made this known while dismissing rumors that Sunday Igboho has been released following his arrest yesterday. The lawyer also alleged that his client is being tortured in a police cell. The Department of State Services, DSS, has declared Igboho wanted after its operatives carried out a midnight raid on his residence in Soka area of Ibadan in Oyo State. Meanwhile, leader of the umbrella body of Yoruba self-determining groups, Emeritus Professor Banji Akintosaye, says he is working with the other Yoruba patriots to assist Igboho prevent his extradition back to Nigeria. A statement by his communications manager, Maxwell Adelaye, called on all Yoruba people within and beyond the shores of Nigeria to ensure that their ancestral land is not defeated by invaders. Akintoye said Benin Republic is a land that respects the rule of law. Also, Afenifere Renewal Group expressed worry about Igboho's rights might be violated, might be violently abused if he is extradited. The group's chairman Olawale Oshun and secretary Ayo Afolabi said this in a statement following news of his arrest. On his part, a former governor of Oyo State, Senator Rashidi Ladoja, urged the federal government to grant amnesty to Igboho and the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. He said he should do this just as it was done to several Boko Haram insurgents that were also enlisted into some security agencies. Ladoja, who spoke with journalists in Ibadan, said arresting Igboho and Kanu cannot end the agitation for self-determination across the country. He said their agitations are as a result of the government's failure to tackle the escalating insecurity in the country. Away from that now, Obinna Iyebu, popularly known as Obi Kubana, has spoken to the BBC Pidgin about his life's journey. The 46-year-old businessman from Anambra State buried his mother last weekend in Oba, in Demili South, in a grand style, causing him to trend on social media for at least 1 week. Obi Kubana explained why his mother was buried in grand style.
My mama burial can't be like this because we don't promise her mama say the time when she go turn 80 years. Say the kind carnival what we go do for her. Person never do her for this world. As it can't be, it can't joke, she can't die before the 80 years. What we go do now? We can't carry all the effort, all the plan, all the energy, everything we will be one plan for do for our 80th birthday. Come put them inside this burial. That's why I can't be like saying a talk of town. You know, saying that 15 years old.
Obi Kubana defended the spread of currency notes by guests at the ceremony, saying no one should dictate how they should spend their money.
No get time to answer person who wants tell me what I want to use money where I make do. Let me make up. Now me, their own not to their watch. If I want anything I want to, I could do. To go the reply person when ask me what I carry my money to, that one a waste of time. I go rather focus the energy on how to make more money and do what I want to do. So let's go make it own. These people who they write this thing for Instagram or internet, if you see their leg, you don't go allow the entire phone color. They're not about finish. Now just people who know one better thing. And to them now everything what you do must be illegitimate.
He also gave advice to those who would want to succeed.
Whatever you define it, you say if you do, keep your hands straight. That one you don't solve 90% of the matter. The other one, the grace of God. Once you put up for your hand, nobody can come out and go. Don't look at another person own. If you look at the clap for them, don't be to wish they how I want to let this one. Don't be your own. Even Bible can say, do not covet. That means don't they look person own like saying that you get them.
Well, still to come, private schools in River State advised to enforce all COVID-19 protocols. 90.3 Nigeria Info, the news returns right after this.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Do you want to know more about Nigeria? Tune in to Nigeria Info. 92.3.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to the news. My name is Jude Omamegbe. Thank you for sticking with us. The provost of the College of Medicine at the University of Port Harcourt, Iyeopo Shimini Aleye, says following the recent warnings of a third wave of COVID-19, taking the vaccine remains the best way to avoid contracting the disease. Professor Iyeopo spoke to Ifeami Andrew. Let's get to listen to him.
The easiest and, if you like, surest way of preventing COVID-19 spread is a widespread use of face masks. Because the next best thing, the best thing actually is to be vaccinated. Unfortunately, the vaccines are not available in our country. So even when they were here, there's vaccine hesitancy amongst people for all kinds of reasons. Wash hands as frequently as possible on running water for at least 20 seconds, or to use hand sanitizers. Right. And then when it is possible to practice physical distancing, make sure that you're 2 meters away from anybody who is not from your immediate family.
While calling on the government to begin to enforce compliance to COVID-19 prevention protocols in public places, Mr. Iyeopo called for more investment in vaccines and sensitization of the people on its safety.
What government can do is to mandate mask wearing and make it compulsory where you have public gatherings and public events and all that, and to make sure that places are not crowded beyond the capacity that can allow the social distancing regulations. That's one. Then vaccine rollout. Government is not paying for the vaccine. The vaccines that were administered a few weeks ago were all part of the COVAX program. So if government can invest in buying the vaccine, that would be great. Government should reassure the public that the vaccines are actually safe and that the most effective means of containing this pandemic.
Moving on now. Meanwhile, private schools in River State are being asked to reactivate and enforce all COVID-19 health protocols. Chairperson of the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools in the state, Roberta Dosumu, spoke to correspondent Martha Okere while reacting to the latest warning by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, which placed Rivers, Lagos and other states on red alert following a third wave of the pandemic.
We are going with the NCDC COVID-19 protocol. We are re-emphasizing it because somehow there's some laxity here and there since the wave went down. So we are re-emphasizing and asking people to reactivate and they now strictly abide and carry out the COVID-19 protocol by NCDC and encouraging our teachers, our proprietors to go for the inoculation.
In other news, traders across major markets in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, say that there was a low patronage from customers before the Eid-el-Kabir holiday. Our correspondent, Jennifer Kerry, spoke to the traders across markets in Abuja.
I mean, looking at it, you can see that the market is empty. I would say the market is empty because this is not what we expect. We have been celebrating Salah this way, we are finding it so difficult now to see people enter inside the market and buy something. We are even contemplating whether we will divert or something like that. I don't know whether food stop is not going for Salah. The turnout here is very, very poor.
Most of the things that cause food stuff, number one, this flooding investment issue, so people do not farm the way they're supposed to farm. Another thing is government increase taxes in most of the companies, so they increase their prices, and the dollar issue. Most of the things we sell here, about 50% is imported, 50% is Nigerian products.
And some appeal to the federal government to urgently address the looming food crisis in Nigeria.
Where they sell all leaf, no market. Everything cease. Mode of life, they cost too much. Unless as every day they dry. Now our government will help us. Nothing for Nigeria. Last time I no come, na sleep at the sleep. Na sleep at the sleep. Oh, not the crease. If you increase, person to buy a map for happy. But nothing. No money for Nigeria. Tomorrow Nigeria, no government will help us. Who will be women and bed? Anyone where you have too much. Where they drum small. No everybody go chop.
Not only oil, everything. See some more. They buy how much? See now how much they sell? 5. One sachet of semo 600, one sachet 600. It's too much. Let them do make everything come down. Now they are our own. Both rice, so federal government now. They go do make everything come down. Rice, everything.
In business now, a former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, has expressed concern over the future of Nigeria over the borrowing policies of the present administration. The former presidential candidate voiced the concern on Tuesday when he appeared on 95.1 Nigeria Info Abuja. Professor Moghalu says the continuous borrowing is mortgaging Nigeria's future.
If you're borrowing for a railway, you must have done an economic calculation that over a number of years, that money will be returned by the fees that people are paying. That's not what's happening in Nigeria today. So we just keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing for things that are not sustainable. A lot of these projects can be done by public-private partnership. Major roads, major railways, private sector investors, if they have confidence in the Nigerian economy, can come in and undertake those projects and take the profits for say 20 years or 35 years. And when they've made a certain level of profit from their investment, they hand over the project back to the government.
To entertainment now, former Big Brother Nigeria housemate Nengi Hampson has acquired a Range Rover Velar. The reality TV star took to her Instagram story to show off a new SUV. In the videos posted on Instagram story, Nengi was seen dressed in a white crop top and sweatpants posing with a white Range Rover. To sports now, Brisbane has been awarded the 2032 Olympics, triggering celebratory fireworks as it became the third Australian city to host the Summer Games after Melbourne and Sydney. The International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach confirmed the widely expected result after a vote at the IOC session in Tokyo. And finally, to the international scene, 12 persons have died after record-breaking rainfall flooded underground railroad tunnels in China, leaving passengers trapped in rising waters. Videos shared on social media shows evening commuters just managing to keep their heads above water. Water is seen rushing onto platforms. Officials say more than 500 people were eventually rescued from the tunnels in Henan province. On the news this afternoon, you heard the whereabouts of 8 persons abducted on Kola Abonima Waterway still unknown. The arrested Yoruba activist Sunday Igboho is likely to face extradition battle. Private schools in Rivers State have been advised to enforce all COVID-19 protocols. And on the foreign scene, 12 persons feared to have died after rain flooded a tunnel in China. The news was edited by Choma Ezenwamfo. Please contact our newsroom on 0818 900017. The number again is 0818 900017. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon. My name is Jude. Do enjoy the rest of your day as the sunny side comes right after now.